I'm going to give you a little treat to the treasury, which is coming out later this year. So here we go. Who's been Snapchatting? That filter, right?
We love you!
I don't know whose idea that was, but they've definitely got a promotion.
We love you!
Thank you, love you too. How are you guys? Alright, well here we go. I'll start with the reading. I asked if I could lip sync to the audiobook, but they said no. So forgive my stutters or mispronounced words, even though I wrote it. So, okay.
Put them on.
Oh, hello. Who's excited? Ooh, okay. Chapter 2, Grounded. Alex and Connor left their 6th grade classroom and found a neighborhood park where they could rest and form the next phase of their plan. It was an hour or so before sunrise, and the night sky was lightening with every passing minute. Everything was so quiet and peaceful, it was difficult to imagine how chaotic life was back in the fairy tale world, and what awful things their friends might be enduring. The closer it came to sunrise, the more people drove past the park on their early work commutes. Naturally, Alex had seen this many times before, but every car she saw gave her a small thrill. It had been a long time since she'd been back in the other world, and it wasn't until this moment that she realized how much she missed it. "It's nice to see how little things have changed here," Alex said. "The fairy tale world changes so much. I've never had a moment to catch my breath." Just my fault. Connor was only half listening. He flipped through the pages of a short story and separated them into 4 stacks on the ground. "Great, they're all here," he said. "Starboardia, Galaxy Queen, the Ziplings, and the Adventures of Blimp Boy. Those are the stories with characters that can help us. We'll use the potion to travel inside the stories, find the heroes, and then take them back to the fairy tale world to help us fight our uncle's army." Alex had only agreed to her brother's plan because their options were so limited. The closer they got to actually going through with it, the more doubtful she became. It was one thing to travel into the books of classic literature, but an entirely different endeavor to go into the short stories written by her brother. "Your stories sound more elaborate than I was expecting," Alex said. I thought you wrote about our experiences in the fairy tale world and just changed all the names." "That's how it started," Connor said. "But after I got the hang of it, I might have exaggerated things a bit and taken some liberties. All good writers do, I think." "Liberties?" Alex asked fearfully. "Connor, what exactly are we getting ourselves into?" Connor waved it off like it wasn't a big deal. "Relax, there's nothing more dangerous than what we've already been through," he said. "Starboardia is a pirate adventure, Galaxy Queen is about space exploration, the Ziplings are a group of superheroes, and the Adventures of Blimp Boy follows a young archaeologist. It'll be a piece of cake." The summaries didn't comfort his sister at all. The twins were lucky they had survived their adventures over the years. If his stories were based on those experiences, Alex wasn't eager to relive any of them, especially if they'd been exaggerated by her brother's warped imagination. "Are you sure this is going to work?" Alex said. "I don't mean to sound like a snob, but maybe we should stick to published stories." "Stop worrying," Connor said. "There are no evil enchantresses, no dragons, no French soldiers, and no literary armies. All my characters are based on people we know and love. They have the same bravery, intelligence, and compassion as our friends. They'll want to help us. We'll be in and out before the antagonists even show up." "What are we going to do with the characters after we bring them out?" Alex asked. "Where are we going to keep them?" Connor had been so worried about finding his stories, he hadn't thought about what they'd do after they found them. "Good point," he said. "We need a place they can stay while we recruit the characters from the other stories. We also need someone to keep an eye on them so they don't wander off. Someone we trust completely, who won't totally freak out about what we're doing." The twins thought about the perfect place and the perfect person for the job, but the candidates were few and far between. It had to be someone in the other world who already knew about the fairy tale world. Someone who had seen magic before and wouldn't be alarmed by it. The person had to be responsible enough to supervise several fictional characters and have enough space to host them. Alex and Connor came to the same conclusion at the exact same time. They looked at each other and knew they were thinking the same thing. There was only one person qualified for the task. Mom, the twins said in unison. The resolution was immediately followed by an avalanche of guilt. I can't remember the last time I talked to Mom, Alex said. Neither can I, Connor said. She's probably worried sick. We've been so busy trying to save the fairy tale world, we never had a chance to call home and check in, Alex said. We're good people, but terrible children, Connor said. Regardless of whether she wants to help us or not, we need to visit her so she knows we're alive, Alex said. Let's just hope she cooperates. The twins were in complete agreement. Connor gathered his stories, and they headed out of the park. Alex followed her brother, who was confused by the direction he was walking in. Where are you going? She asked him. Home, he said. But home is that way. No, home used to be that way, Connor said. Mom and I moved in with Bob after they got married, remember? Alex's guilt was doubled by another avalanche. She was so out of the loop, she didn't even know where her own family lived anymore. Whenever she thought about her mom and stepdad in the other world, she always imagined them living in the rental house they'd moved into when her and Connor's dad passed away. Perhaps the other world had changed more than she thought. I'm the worst daughter in the world, she said. This isn't going to be a fun visit, is it? Nope, Connor said. Mom's going to be pretty upset when she sees us, and I won't blame her. They reached the edge of the park, and Connor came to a stop. Aren't you forgetting something else? He said. What? Alex asked. Connor looked his sister up and down, like it was obvious. Alex, you're dressed like the Tooth Fairy, he said. You can't go walking around the suburbs like that. Oh, she said, you're right. 1 second. With a quick spin, Alex transformed her sparkling dress and shoes into a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. I forgot how comfortable the other world clothes are, she said. You look like you again, Connor said. Now come on, the quicker we do this, the better. They walked through the neighborhood streets until they found Sycamore Drive. By now, the sun had risen, and Alex could see all the spacious homes on the street. She was delighted her mom and Bob lived in such a lovely neighborhood. Alex knew which house was theirs before Connor pointed it out, because the flower beds were covered in their mom's favorite roses. Oh, hopefully they'll be home, Connor said. They're usually starting a day shift or ending a night shift around this time. The twins walked up the curved path and knocked on the door. A few moments later, their stepdad answered. Bob was still in his pajamas and on his first cup of coffee. His eyes were puffy, like he had just woken up. The doctor did a double take when he saw Alex and Connor standing behind the door. Good morning, Bob, Alex said cheerfully. Nice to see you again. Bob rubbed his eyes and scratched his head. He wasn't convinced he was awake yet. Hi, he said. Well, this is a surprise. Is Mom home yet? Connor said. We have to talk to her. Yeah, she's upstairs getting ready for work. Boy, she'll be very glad to see you, he said. Charlotte, you have visitors, he called into the house. The twins heard a window above the porch. The twins heard a window open above the porch. They looked up and saw Charlotte looking down at them from the second story, already dressed for work in her blue scrubs. Her face had many expressions at once. Shock that she was looking at her children, relief that they were all right, joy that had finally come home, but it settled on anger. Hi, Mom, the twin said apologetically. Inside, now, Charlotte said and slammed the window. Connor gulped. We're off to a good start. All right, thank you guys. All right, who is ready for some LTLOS trivia? Great, well, some people will be walking around with a microphone, and they'll start picking people to answer some questions.